Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this live stream. I hope everybody is really doing well. So, guys, first of all, congratulations, and we caught a wonderful scalps on Bitcoin from $57,000 and way up to $65,500. So, we have booked, the 50% spot bags as well as the coin margin contracts. I've booked good profits on that, as well as made good money on the scalps. Yesterday, one of our very tight stop loss scalp got stopped out because it was a very tight stop loss, and I was expecting it to hold because of the 15 minutes EM at 200 that we had. Nevertheless, what was the next plan or course of action? So before we go down or deep dive into the lower term time frame analysis, ladies and gentlemen, give me a thumbs up and do press the like button and share this video or live stream link to your friends, families, or whoever you like it, and just probably go to the Twitter and share it, please, guys. Much engagement is anticipated or expected from you guys, and thank you so much for that. Also, second most important thing is today we're going to discuss is okay, during the previous stream that we had 3 days back, when Bitcoin was literally dumping and it was around $57,000, I mentioned that overall hard time frame we are bearish. Okay, why? Because of the bearish engulfing candle that we have on the monthly time frame. Now on the lower term time frame, I mentioned that there is a possibility of bouncing from $56,000 towards $65,000 because of a very interesting what do you name it as, like a bullish wolf wave. So now probably going into the lower term time frame, I just want to highlight what our hard term time frame scenario looks like at this point. So first of all, we're going to the hard and time frame scenarios on the monthly, and if you look at the monthly time frame, ladies and gentlemen, we do have two scenarios. The bull case is on the Bitcoin is till we are above 49,400. The bull case scenario is very valid, and above 49.4, I think we are still anticipating to run it up turbo towards $300,000. So remember, in the bull run, whenever you have seen a big bull run, and when you have a range kind of a structure, that's your range highs and that's your range lows. Normally what happens is the price pumps up to the equilibrium of the clone of a range, basically. So now we have an equal range from the highs to from the previous highs, and that's equilibrium is roughly around $145,000. So that's your bull run target, 145 to 170. That's your wave 3 target, after which we could see another retracement towards 100k, maybe 84,000, and later pump it up towards $300,000. So that's your bull run target for and that's your bull case scenario for Bitcoin. So that's a clear bull case scenario. So this is still valid till we are above $49,400. So till we are above 49,400, this bull case scenario is very valid. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so that's one thing. Now let's also try and evaluate what would be our bear case scenario for Bitcoin. So that's our bull case scenario. Bear case scenario is also very valid, which clearly indicates that possibility that we might top here. Actually, the top is in the C wave, or I would say a C of a B wave is in, and this bigger B wave is in with a deviation of the top with a monthly bearish engulfing candle as well. And also along with this engulfing candle on the BLX, we also have an engulfing candle on SPX. So basically we do have two bearish engulfing candle on the biggest market. One is the US market is having an engulfing candle on monthly, and then you have a Bitcoin bearish engulfing candle as well. So that is a little bit sign of a worry for me, actually. Now if this engulfing candle would have not formed, I would have not been worried at all. I would have told you blindly that we are going to $78,000, $80,000. That's the only, this engulfing candle is the only factor I cannot avoid it. And this engulfing candle has formed at the top in the premium zone. Basically, that's your premium zone. I mentioned to you as well. I showed you in the last stream. This is your premium zone, basically. Remember, that's your premium zone, and this is where the discount zone is. So that's where your discount zone. That's where people bought, and this is where people sell. Normally the accumulation happens here, the distribution happens here. So that's how it normally plays out. Premium zone and discount zone. Now, near engulfing candle, if it would have developed at the bottom, it would have developed at somewhere around here, maybe in the equilibrium as well, I would have just ignored it. But just you know, happening at the top don't make sense to me. I mean, why it has formed at the top? The volume is pretty much good, actually, I would say. So we just have to patiently wait for it. I mean, I'm just simply going to sell my spots fully on Bitcoin when it goes around 70,000, 69, 69, 69, anywhere close to 69. I'm just going to sell for it, honestly. And you know, I just going to wait for this engulfing candle to invalidate. Okay, once it invalidates, we rebuy, and yes, we're going to miss a little bit profits if I'm wrong on this engulfing candle. Not much of a profits, so we're going to miss a little bit profits, but overall, you know, we will be saved from a wrath that's going to happen in case of this engulfing candle plays out. You know, because normally on the monthly time frame, we have never seen a bearish engulfing candle on Bitcoin in the history of Bitcoin so far. Not perfect engulfing candle we have seen so far. I mean, if you look at the top as well here in 2017, it was not an engulfing candle. And I mean, after that, you can just probably look at yourself. I did not found any perfect engulfing candle you know, so far. I mean, this is the perfect engulfing candle that I've seen so far. I mean, so that's the bear case scenario. We are topped, and we would be aiming for $19,000 in next few days or maybe next few months. I mean, that is what the bear count tells us. Now, this bear count is still not valid yet. This bear count is valid only and only when Bitcoin starts dumping back under 49.4 and flips under 49.4. Once it flips 49.4 under on daily time frame as well as weekly class, then Bitcoin is, you know, topped out, and we are literally going down back towards $19,000, maybe even 14K, but we don't know yet if 14K is going to happen or not. But the minimum target would be $19,000. So that's what the bear case scenario for the Bitcoin is. Now, to support this bear case, we do have the week of accumulation. So this is your week of accumulation, ladies and gentlemen, which clearly tells us that, you know, we are more likely did the UT, and we should be doing, you know, somewhere around the here we should be doing, giving this move on the downside, but we should not be dumping sweep the lows. That's what is the next move ideally should have been. But let's see, I mean, how this plays out overall. But I'm still bullish. The trend is bullish. Till we are above 49.4, we are not even looking for the bear case scenario. Till we are above 49.4, we are bullish. Once the bear case scenario, bull case scenario is invalidated with a close under 49.4, yes, we're gonna talk about the bear case then, which means that there is no bull run, no more bull case, only bear case scenario under 49.4. So that's our hearts on time frame, ladies and gentlemen. This is the hearts on time frame, and so that's what the heart and time frame scenario is. Let's talk about the medium term time frame scenarios for Bitcoin on the daily time frame. Now, as we know, and as you guys know, that we have a very strong bearish engulfing candle. So first of all, you know, we have, as I mentioned, there are possibilities of a bullish wolf waves, as well as, you know, there are two scenarios that we discussed: bullish wolf waves or an ultra bear case scenario. So first of all, let's talk about an ultra bear case scenario. An ultra bear case scenario is really valid, and the invalidation of this ultra bear case scenario is going to be 67.5. so anything above 67.5 and this ultra bear case scenario is going to invalidate. So that's a good part about it. I mean, if you get a single, you know, wick, even a wick above 67.5 would invalidate this ultra bear case scenario. So I really want what bulls should do: a wick above 67.5, invalidate this ultra bear case scenario, and dump back down towards, you know, 50,000, maybe even, you know, this support of $50,000, and then accumulate a little bit more, and then run it back up to $70,000 or $80,000. So would overall make it very bullish in terms of, you know, this is literally going to be like a little bit choppy scenario for alts as well, for overall market, but very much going to be bullish in the long term, I would say. So which is like, you know, wrecked bulls, you know, wrecked bulls make them FOMO above 67.5. Wrecked bears, already they have wrecked bears actually, so we wrecked bears again, make them, you know, more bearish when we are dumping towards 51,000, and then we run it up. We get more and more liquidity on an upside, and then run it up to $78,000. So right now the invalidation for this scenario is above 67.5. Okay, so I'm just going to I really see that this is going to invalidate. And why? Let me come back to you when we will be discussing the lower time frame scenarios. Okay, so this is the medium term time frame ultra bearish case scenario, as well as the bullish wolf waves. So the bullish wolf waves is still a valid one if you really think about, and if you really check it off. So this is really valid. If you just look at here, what did I mention? The bullish wolf waves, that normally we bounce from the 1-4-1-4, and we exactly bounce from the 1-4-1-4 Fibonacci levels, and we also had a 4-hour order block. So practically, if you look at the 12 hours time frame or the 4 hours time frame, this scenario was very, very valid. So practically, either we are topped here, maybe one more push up, a little bit push up to $66,000 or so, and then dump it down. But this is a very valid scenario, and I do think that there is a possibility and a high chances that we are topped locally. And hence, I'm just I would just be patiently waiting now for any further longs. I'm just simply going to be, I simply going to patiently wait for, because this scenario is very, very valid. This is going to be like one more push on the downside, wrecked everyone, and then further run it up to $70,000. Now this is also a valid case. What would be the other scenario over here is, in case if BTC goes above or close to 66,400, 66,500, if we go there, then this scenario is going to invalidate, and then we would not be going for the bullish wolf waves, but we would be going for ABC scenario, something like this, and then run it up towards $69,000. So that's how then it would go like an inverse head and shoulder at that point of time. So one more push up to 66,500 or so would mean that the bottom is in for Bitcoin. We will see any retest of the May opens roughly around 60.5, 60.4. The retest is going to happen, and that retest, and maybe a little bit lower around 59.5 is also a good one. And then from there, run it up towards 70,000 would be very, very nice in my view. So this is, another case that we can have a look up for. So this is like a bullish wolf waves, very, very valid. And I'm looking for this bullish wolf waves. As I mentioned, the path that we have, this is the path we knew. I drew that over the stream, that yes, from here I would like to see a push up towards somewhere around 65,000, that we have already got it. And if this is the top, because there is a resistance over here, as you can see, there is a strong resistance at 65,000. That's a 12-hour resistance, 4-hour resistance. So practically, if you have to reject, we already rejected once with a pin bar candle, basically, and then we got a very nice engulfing candle as well. So practically that's not a perfect engulfing one, but you can say that's somewhat like an engulfing. But overall, I would say, if this is bearish, this is how we can go one more down and then run it up, like this. So that's the path. But then I would like to change a path this a little bit, different way, because we have a bear case scenario in a very different manner. So what is the scenario, ladies and gentlemen? The scenario would be this. So this is your wave, 1A, a B, and we're going to have a wave C over here, maybe somewhere like this, a W, and from there we dump it down like this to more downside. Now this scenario is a very, very valid, and I would say this perfectly aligns with our plan of W. So I'm just going to mention like a W, and that scenario is very, very valid, ladies and gentlemen. I would say, this W is also very, very valid. So right now we have 3 scenarios. One is ultra bear case scenario, one is bullish wolf wave scenario, which means that the top is in, we are going to go one more move on the downside towards $56,000 or $55,000, and from there run it up to $68,000, or a W pattern like this, which is like pumping up to 66,000, 68.7, and then dumping back down under to $50,000. So that's your W scenario over here. So these are the medium term time frame scenarios for the few days you can expect. Now, what is the lower time frame scenario, ladies and gentlemen, that you all are very much interested? Now, before we go to the lower term time frame scenarios, and you would like to stay here on the W, so basically we would like to stay here for the midterm time frame scenarios. Let's go to the total crypto market cap. The total crypto market cap, this was our original plan, if you remember. But the problem is this plan got invalidated because, because of, we went really under 0.886. So right now, this plan is invalidated for now. And if you just look at the total monthly time frame, I just want to see whether total has formed any sort of a bearish candle or not. Let me just see. Yes, even total is having a bearish engulfing candle, which is not a good sign actually, in my view. So this is a strong engulfing candle, and I really don't think it's it's like it's a fake one actually. Come on. I mean, and the volume. You look at the volume is even above the MA, MA based volume, which clearly think to me that the pump was good. This is the pump that we anticipated. Our spot bags at bought at 61,450 was in good profits, booked 50% $65,000. I've booked coin margin contract longs at 50% longs have been booked. So practically, I think the next move on an upside is clearly going to be like, get the fuck out of everything. That's all I would say actually. So I'm just telling you again and again, guys, if you really want to be bullish and if you are expecting a pump from here to $80,000, good luck. Even I would have expected this, and I was expecting this pump as well, but then this engulfing candle is something on a monthly time frame, is something I cannot ignore as a trader actually. Something I don't ignore it. If you just want to ignore it, it's up to you, your biasness. What I would do is, and how I would play this whole thing, I've already explained to you. We would be getting out of it. We would be booking everything at $69,000. And, if it just tries to flip $70,000 on daily, on weekly, gets acceptance above, then yes, we would rebuy it. So we're just going to make slightly profits in between. But then we won't be, stuck in case if it just reverses and dumps back down. We won't be giving away all our profits back and just gonna be making more losses. Okay, so basically, I don't play such sort of a ball game. Basically, my ball game is a very different game. Basically, as I mentioned to you, it's all about want to increase your net worth. That's how we do it. Actually, that's how I do it. So we play the levels. Whatever we see in front of our screen, we play. So total crypto market cap, ladies and gentlemen, looking to the total crypto market cap, there are two possible options over here actually. And the two possible options on the total crypto market cap is clearly what I'm seeing is a very interesting bullish wolf waves as well. I'm seeing on the total crypto market cap practically. That's clearly to me like a 5F structure, and it's like a breakout, and it's a perfect bullish wolf wave. So what is going to be the next for the total crypto market cap? What I would like to see for a total crypto market cap is maybe one more push down, a retest of this, I would say a pennant, not exactly the pennant, but the support. And from there, slowly, gradually, from it, I'll run it up to, fill the order block around $2.5 trillion. And then we see another wrath by end of or mid of May, actually, from 18 May. We dump it more and more and just go to test the equilibrium, take all the liquidity around $1.8 trillion. So that is what I would be expecting for total crypto market cap, which perfectly aligns with my plan for Bitcoin on the midterm time frame. So at present, I don't have any bull case scenario. Even this bullish wolf waves means we pump it up, we go up here, but from there we are going down. So practically all the scenarios are telling me at this point that we should be going down at any point. I mean, even if we pump it up to $69,000, finally from there we should be aiming down. We should not be aiming more and more upside. So that's what the scenarios are telling me at this point. I don't really have the bull case scenario, and I would not be having it. Why? Only because we have a monthly bearish engulfing candle. So if that monthly bearish engulfing candle would not have been there, I would have never gave you any bear case scenario. Means that we should be very, very bullish at that point of time. So ladies and gentlemen, I think the midterm scenarios are very, very clear to you. Let's talk about the lower term time frame. Now the lower term time frame scenarios over here, I think the first and foremost thing with the lower term time frame scenario is, let's talk about a breakout. So yes, we got a very nice breakout, but still we are rejecting from the EMA 50 daily. Okay, first and foremost thing. Second important thing here is that we have a bullish wolf waves already I mentioned, but that bullish wolf waves is still is still a long way to play out. But over here we have a XABCD pattern, and which is a very, very, very valid one. There is a possibility over here that just try and understand from Elliot wave perspective. So the Elliot wave theory suggests that this is ABC for sure. This is another ABC for sure. 3-wave move. And then you got 5-wave move on the downside. Then you got another 5-wave move, or I would say ABC on an upside. And then you got another some sort of a 5-wave move. But then the problem is, even if let's say this is end of something. So let's say, this move is like an end of something. So I would not say this whole move ended here. This is where we ended. This is where the whole move ended. But this would have ended very much clearly only and only when we are doing WXY. Over here, I don't think WXY, because the W was very, very simple. I mean, it can't be, the W is so simple. X is the most complex X, and then Y even more complex. So basically the WXY, I would say very least probability in my view at this point. So what I would suggest here is that, or what the count that I have is that this is A, B, and C, because we did went one more down with a 5-wave. So this is like A, B, C, and that's it. I mean, we ended here. Then we get another A, B, irregular flat, C, and then we got A, B, C, irregular expanded flat. We got an impulsive move, 1, 2, like a double bottom. And then we get 3 over here, 4, and we got a 5. So basically the top might be in, or we can have one more push up, as I mentioned, towards, the $66,000, $67,000, and then further dump like this. So maybe the top might be in. If this harmonic don't play out, then we clearly means that there is a possibility on the lower term time frame that we literally reject from $66,000, $67,000, and we dump very hard towards first the monthly opens of 60,500, and then the previous month lows of $59,000. So ladies and gentlemen, you have to be very, very cautious when you're playing on the lower term time frame. The lower term time frame is very, very tricky at this point. So basically we have this harmonic. Yes, it adds a very nice confluence to our levels. And then we also have a Monday range basically. So how are we going to play this whole thing actually? The way I'm looking this whole thing over here, I see and I suggest basically, hold on. I just want to hide. Perfect. So on the lower term time frame, I expect Bitcoin to bounce back from here and run it up to 65,000 previous week highs at least. And if it is bullish, maybe we have one more push up. We flip 65,000, then we can run one more up towards $66,000, $67,000. One more push up, that would finish the whole thing, and then we will dump more actually, very, very high. And that dump is going to be like 60,600. That's like a monthly opens. That is how it would do. So there are two ways of pumping. So basically I'm expecting a push from here itself towards a minimum of $65,000, and max it can go towards somewhere around $66,530 to $67,000, and then from there I dump it down to 60,600. So that's what we are anticipating for Bitcoin on the lower term time frame over here. Ideally, how BTC should play out from here, let's say the top is in. There are two possibilities. Either the top is in, which I think the top is in. Okay, we do something like this: A, B, and C. Okay, the first target would be here on the monthly opens, and the monthly opens will be defended in my view. And we go for another choppiness, and then we go down towards the previous month lows, and then from there we go up like this. Okay, so a little bit choppiness, and then like for the choppiness continues till around 11th of May or 13th of May, maybe 15th of May, and from 15th to for like a few days, like 28th of May, we pump it up to 69,000, and then from there the whole pump would be ABC, and then from there we dump it down from 69,000 towards a lows. I mean, sweeping the lows basically. That's how things would be very, very nasty at that point of time. Remember, March has closed green, April red. So if this whole two things combine, if you look at the historical data, if March is green, April is red, May is always red. May can go from anywhere between 7% to 35% down, anywhere from these numbers actually. So practically, in my view, you have to be very, very careful Just don't be blindfolded. Don't be blindly bullish, like an idiotly bullish. No, I would not. I would not suggest as a trader you should not be blindly or idiotly bullish. Do not be idiots. Okay, we are traders actually. So don't be idiots. We don't have to be idiots. You know. Yes, Ali, you're perfectly right, my friend. Even RND has an engulfing candle on a monthly, which means 10.3 was my target. I posted in the chart ideas. I posted in my corner when RNDR was forming a very interesting, very interesting, I would say, you know, inverse head and shoulder. I literally bought over there. I mentioned as well. It's a perfect inverse head and shoulder. I'm expecting it to run it up. You know, like here, this was an inverse head and shoulder here. You can check my corner as well. I posted it when it was here around 7.3 or 7.13, sorry, and it just pumped up like almost 47% up. So I have booked my I've sold my RNDR for like 47% gains already. My target is hit at 10.3, so I've closed it now. It can literally go up to 11.1, but that's it in my view, because an engulfing candle, a monthly engulfing candle, is something I would not like to avoid or ignore it. So yeah, I mean, I am simply not going to ignore anything for RNDR. It can go to 11.1, ladies and gentlemen, but that's my thing. I mean, I am simply going to patiently wait a bit more on RNDR. I've sold my RNDR bags, honestly speaking. FET I'm holding. It has given a good gains, and I do think FET is you know, going to FET is going to give us a run up towards a 2.8 to $3 in my view, at least, so that, you know, it can give us a good amount of money. We bought at 1.67. We held through this whole move. I have 2x leverage longs, and it went almost like 49% move on an upside. I do expect it to run it up minimum 68%, and if AI you know, literally FET has to run, then definitely it can even do something like this of pumping up to 3.9. But for now, if the market is bearish, I don't know how FET is going to pump up to $4 or $5. We will see. So we're just going to play levels on levels. If BTC reaches to $67,000 first before FET, I'm simply going to sell, because profits are profits. And you know, I'm going to sell it actually, and I'm just going to wait for more price action clearly in my view. So our lower term time frame for Bitcoin, I mean, this is the plan that perfectly suits, or maybe one more push on an upside, you know, is pending. As I mentioned, we can have one more push up and then down like this. So it all depends at this point, basically. So either we are locally topped, or maybe one more push on an upside and then we dump down. But overall, this dump is going to happen. A retest of May open is going to happen before, after which we're going to literally look for more upside at this point. So hence, you know, it's better to stay, you know, or better to book profits on your long positions around $65K to $66,000. I mean, you just can't probably wait for a perfect top, but you know, I think the best would be that 66,000 to 65,000 is a good levels to you know, hedge your spots, or you just book your gains as well. That's what I would do. And that's what we did. I already mentioned in our you know, trade section as well. Whatever, when Bitcoin touches 64.8, 65,000, we are selling 50% of our spot bags that we bought at 61.5, and also going to close 50% of coin margin gains. So basically, I'm in good profits, you know, and basically, I'm not worried at all actually. But from here on the lower term time frame, 15 minutes chart, I'm expecting Bitcoin to run it up from here to $65,000. So if you really want to play some scalps on Bitcoin, I think you know, you should have longed at around 63.5, and you know, this is how you should have played. You should have longed 63.5 and ride up, maybe, you know, one more possibility, but not sure. But we are going to go to $65,000 practically. This is how I'm seeing Bitcoin going. Can even do something like this, as I mentioned, one more push up, sweep the Monday highs would be very nicely done. We sweep it and then probably dump it down like this. Possibility is always there. So ladies and gentlemen, right now I think we are bullish on Bitcoin at this point on the lower term time frame. The invalidation levels would be only and only if we fail to reclaim the 63.85. So if you don't reclaim that, there's a possibility if we do reject, or if we lose the support that we have around $63,085 on the 15 minutes time frame. How many rockets do we have there? We have literally around 20 or 2. How many rockets? Oh my god, we have 25 rockets at 63,085, which means that this is a strong support now. So 25 rockets there on the 15 minutes time frame, and that's the reason we are bouncing again and again from those levels. You see 63.85, very close to 63.85, $63,000. From there we are literally pumping up like $1,000 every time. So it's a good levels for to play some scalps when you know that these sort of things gonna happen. So I think for now, I think I'm expecting a run up, a push up towards a minimum of $65,000 from here, and we will decide at 65,000. If we flip 65, we will run it up to $66,000. If not, then we are dumping back down towards, as I mentioned, $61,000. So that's all about the today's stream, ladies and gentlemen. And I think even if you look at from the USD dominance perspective, we nailed it. Our this whole diagonal scenario is playing out so nicely, so perfectly. It just went down towards my perfect target, and where I see some nice reversal as well with an pennant as well, bullish pennant, and a good support from here. I mean, if you look at here, these levels, we have some strong support. I mean, this is where the wicks were actually. So this is where we have a strong support basically, and I would like to see a very nice push up towards 5.2. That's where a retest happens, 5.2% retest, and then dump it down where 69,000 pump dollar retest gonna happen. So that's where we literally exit the market, and I think at that point of time there are two possibilities from there. Either the 6.2% is gonna happen or the 7.27% is happening. So we have to be ready with all the ultra bearish scenario that we can have at that point of time. But for now, I think the midterm is bullish. We are aiming for $69,000, and lower term time frame, I'm bearish. I would like to see a retest of 60.5 minimum. Can even do $59,000 again. So that's what. Now that $59,000 or $60,000 may come after, as I mentioned, either one more push up to 66,000 and then down, or just 65,000 retest and then down. We will see at that point of time. So from here, I'm expecting a push up to minimum of $65,000. That's what I have for Bitcoin. So let's talk about a few of the alts. I think overall the plan should be same, because if Bitcoin is gonna dump, everything else would be, because ETH BTC is at the biggest support right now. I mean, if this level is lost, I would say it's a wrecked for alts actually. If this is the support, final support you can have for Ethereum BTC. So just pray guys, we hold these levels, because the green line, if it's lost, this is the final defense for alts actually. Because if it's lost, you can expect a very nasty dump on else or a pump on Bitcoin dominance, and we are doing something like this. So maybe the next dump that's gonna happen on Bitcoin would mean that BTC is gonna dump 5%, alts gonna dump 10%, maybe more. If this happens actually. So be very careful, at this point of time. So we are the last levels of defense. Now let's look at few of the alts. Pepe really bounced off well from my levels. I really liked it. The good point about this move was, in my view, is that it did a 5 waves actually. So honestly speaking, got a very nice move. If you have got a spot bags from my levels, I think the best would be to book gains actually when we are having literally going or pushing one more upside, or maybe whatever, one more push. I mean, it would be very safe to TP around those levels, 923, 920. I mean, that's what, because there is a possibility along with Bitcoin, along with Bitcoin dumping down. I think everything else will go. Everything else will go with it. So maybe it does something like this, like a double bottom, accumulate here, like a here, and then probably run it up like this along with it. So you just have to be careful, for the Pepe actually. I would be very careful now actually, because we are at the resistance, I would not say the bear market, my friend. I think you have to watch this video from the beginning, Kevin. We don't say we are going to bear market. I mean, as I mentioned, the higher term time frame scenario suggests the bear case scenario is still not valid. It's like more choppiness in the bull run. You know, the bull runs always have the choppy and more accumulation. So there are two possibilities here. The bear case scenario, this bear case scenario is valid only and only when we dump under 49.4. Till we are above 49.4, we don't close a single candle. This is bull run. We are still bullish. But how it is going to do? More choppiness, you know, more accumulation, more choppiness. So this is how it can do actually. A little bit push up like this here, and then dump like this towards 51,000, 50,000, maybe support, and then we do something like this. So basically, a bigger accumulation leads to a bigger expansion, something like that. That's how the bull run will resume, you know. So that's how the bull case would resume. But once it goes into 44,400, kalas, I mean, then probably it's going to be like bear case. We are going into the bear market again then. No more bull run. That's all. The end of the bull run at that point of time. So I think I really don't have a confirmation if this is the monthly engulfing is the top or like a bull run top. I don't have that confirmation yet, my friend. So I cannot for sure say at this point whether this monthly engulfing is our full top for, you know, the final top for this bull run. That is something I can't say at this point, you know. Yeah, I mean, it is really, I would not even wait for 69K. As I mentioned, you know, anywhere from 67,000, 69,000, we should book it. You just don't wait for $1,000. I mean, perfect top, we can't catch it. So we just literally going to get exit. And if it is, this engulfing candle gets invalidated, which I don't think it will, but in case if it invalidates, if we try to flip the green range highs of 69,400, if we try to flip that on monthly again, if we close above that on monthly, let's say May closes above that 69.4 in case, then we will buy higher. It is good. So we just simply going to miss that $1,500, you know, $1,500. We just going to miss that $1,500 profits in between. So if you're selling at 67,500, let's say, and if we will rebuy at 69,500 on a monthly close above, we're just going to miss $2,000 move. That's all. But then that $2,000 move is going to ensure that we don't get trapped at the top when it dumps to $50,000. So the downside move, it would be roughly around $15,000 versus an upside move. So basically the risk of downside is much higher than an upside. Hence, it is safe to exit, wait for it. If this engulfing don't play out, which I think it's going to play out, very much sure about it, because I've never seen an engulfing on monthly fails actually. If you have that example, you can share it with me. If you see any engulfing on a monthly have failed, let me know. I would just definitely go for it. So that's what the plan. The monthly engulfing makes a 2 monthly bearish divergence on. Oh my God, then that's a good thing actually, because bear divergence on RSI, you know, is like a added, I would say, confluence. You know, you have more confluence to it actually. But let's see, I mean, how things plays out, my friends. So what I'm saying right now is we have higher term time frame, we have midterm time frame, and that midterm time frame is going to break down to the lower term time frame. So if you still don't get it, if you have some confusion, ask me twice, thrice, or how many times you want to. Lower term time frame, as I mentioned, I'm expecting a push up towards 65,000, and that's what we are going for, ladies and gentlemen. On the stream itself, I mentioned a few minutes back when we were at 63.7, I mentioned that if you really want a long, you should have long, and we should be going up to a 65,000 minimum. Can even go for a push up to 66,000 if 65,000 is flipped, you know. So that's what I've took a small scalp itself on the stream, and now that it have moved up, I will be moving my scalp stop loss at break even, you know. If it just goes from here, it goes. If don't, it don't actually. Let's see. So that's all what I have for today's stream, ladies and gentlemen. And you know, overall, I think the market is still very, very tricky. Very, very tricky. I mean, very tricky. In fact, the fear and greed index now went back to more greedy. I mean, we never even went to fear. It just went from being neutral to greedy, so which is a little bit more concern to me. Basically, normally don't happen, and because normally from neutral, it should have gone down towards what do you say? Fear. Because when there is a fear in the market, you buy, and that's what you buy: the fear, sell the extreme greed. Normally, that's how you play actually. That's how the market plays actually. So right now the sentiment is greed. Yesterday is also greed. I mean, there is no fear at this point. We have never seen that fear as well on this dump. Everybody was buying. The fear is yet to come in my, in my view. So I think I'm just gonna let my scalp ride. If you have been here on this stream, you would have got this scalp on Bitcoin pumping up to all an upside. Hold the FET, guys, because I think FET is going to run it to my target of 2.8. That is what the minimum target I am expecting. So 2.8, 2.9, and then we will see whether we want to get out of it or basically we book it, or because I have a big position on FET with 2x leverage from 1.67. I've paid some good fees as well on that, but the good profits, so I just have to plan my exit properly. So I think 2.8, 2.9 is the good levels. In case if we reject from there, I'm simply gonna book it. But if we accumulate under 2.8, holding above, holding above 2.63, then we would be looking for a much higher target of $3.9 to $4 then for FET. So that's all for the today's stream, guys. That's all. If you have any queries, you can ask me. Also, one more thing, I just want to tell you guys that there will be slight delay in your shipment for t-shirts because of the elections happening in India, and a lot of courier companies have stopped the operations. Or maybe there will be some delays from our manufacturer as well. So since last few days there were a lot of election activity happening. So today is the election in India, and that's why like for last 10 days things were moving very slow. Even my manufacturer mentioned that it's going to take a little bit more time. They have yet not shipped anything because of this thing. So basically for the next 3-4 days we have to bear, and probably maybe the next week they will be shipping it, in my view. That's what I've been told. So that's all. And the third most important thing I want to tell you is that the trend screener, EMS screener, is done. We have tested it. The results are amazing. And I'm planning to have a launch event with you all, guys, lovely people. We're going to have a launch event together because that's the biggest thing we have achieved. We have achieved a lot of good things actually here together. I mean, this is all efforts put by everyone actually, because you guys have motivated me a lot to do all these things actually, because if you guys have, would have not motivated me to do it, I would have never accomplished it actually. So that's all. Also, one more thing, guys, on the DGen channel, I gave you one alt, PXP actually. The PXP, basically, I'm an investor. I mentioned as well on the, on the DGen, all that I'm an investor. And I gave you around 230, 240K market cap. Right now, it is almost around 600 and something market cap. So I think that I'm in continuous touch with the founder, and a lot of big things are going to happen for PXP. The product is really good in my view. So this is not a financial advice to anyone, but if you would like to look at yourself, look at the product, the working product, the AI image generator tool. If you look at my profile pic on the Twitter, I've generated that using the I've just generated on my own, and it gives a superb result, versus the other paid AI generator tool or the free tool. So basically that's the why I really like the PXP, and they have a lot of good things coming up. I'm in touch with the founder actually. And one more thing, I don't hold more than 0.9% of the equity actually. So practically my equity is roughly around 0.875 or 78. I mean, it's not more than even 0.8% actually. So that's what I have for the PXP token, guys, basically. And a lot of people are going to start talking about it once it closes above, or once it starts flipping $1 million, because that's how from $1 million to $20 million, it will be very, very easy journey actually. So let's see, ladies and gentlemen. So I just say, if you bought with me at 200,000, 240,000 market cap, good. You are in good profits. It's around 655,000 market cap at this point, ladies and gentlemen. So do your own research, and I think, you know, it can literally go to, in my view, very, very big. It can go literally to a $10 million as well. Depends on how big the, you know, how big the or how the project is going to roll out on the exchanges like SEX. So we have applied for you know, other centralized exchanges as well. So let's see. I mean, right now you can buy PXP from Radium using Solana. So we have that for PXP. So just have a look. It's not a financial advice. Do your own research. I already gave the setup for PXP when it was roughly around 235,000 market cap at that point of time, 235k market cap. Right now it is at 655k market cap. So if you really want to book profits, it's up to you, but I'm just going to keep on holding it you know, because I you know, I believe in the founder, and I think, you know, this project can really do good actually. Just look at the project once, and if you fail, it's up to you. I mean, I'm not giving any financial advice on that. That's all for the today's stream, ladies and gentlemen. If you like this, please press like button and go to the Twitter and do the engagement as well, my friends. And thanks a lot. Have a nice day. We're going to have a similar live stream in the evening as well, because I want to see how are we going to do at the $65,000, because if we can flip the 65k, we can get a good scalp as well from 65, quick scalp from 65 to $66,000, like a $1,000 scalp quickly. So that's all for the today's stream, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm riding my scalp from the stream. You know, 63.66 is my entry. 63,660 is my entry, and I'm just riding with the stops at break even, you know. So that's all, ladies and gentlemen, for today's stream. Let it ride, let it pump. Thank you. Have a nice day. Take care. Bye-bye.